Well, what is up everybody? Back here with another pedal review today, as you can probably surmise from the title of this video. And yes, it is another budget pedal review. This is actually going to be part of the Iron Man series from Joyo Audio. And I've got it in the box. I decided to do the unboxing with y'all today too. So this is part of their Iron Man series, which are these little tiny pedals from Joyo Audio. And so far I've had pretty good luck with everything from Joyo Audio, so I'm actually really stoked to check this one out. This is the Clean Glass. This is an amp simulator from them. So when we open up the box here, first thing you see is their little card to show you what it is. Okay, and it's got little instructions and everything, tone control, gain control, 9-volt adapter plug-in, does not come with a 9-volt adapter, mind you. Mid-boost control and an output volume control. These are packed pretty well for such a little pedal. It's very heavy for how small this pedal is, and they all seem to be like that, which is not a bad thing. And by how small it is, I mean, look at this. Thing is actually tiny. But yeah, a little teeny pedal, and let's go ahead and peel off this little plastic there. I know y'all love it when I do that. All right, so what do we have here? I'm gonna put it up on screen in a second here. I just haven't set up the second camera yet for when we start testing it out. But you have a ton of tiny little knobs on here. And as I read off the instructions earlier, we have a tone knob, we have a drive knob, volume and voice. I'm gonna go ahead and set them all to noon on here. That way we can get a good feel for what it sounds like. Now we'll turn the volume all the way down. We don't need it blasting. And then you do have the one little foot switch here, and you do have an in and out and a 9-volt power supply that you can plug in. And again, it does not come with that power supply. Now, as the Clean Glass name would probably imply, this is based on, you know, California Fender, Fender-style amps, and it's supposed to be a very good clean amp replacement. This is an amp simulator, so consider this a preamp pedal. And I had been looking for a good clean preamp pedal that's not gonna take up a ton of space on my pedal board, so I hit up Joyo and asked them to send this one over. And they were happy to oblige. So this is not a paid or sponsored video, but I did not pay for this pedal. They did send it free of charge. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, obviously, but all thoughts and opinions are my own. Joyo does not know that I'm posting this video, nor will they get to see it before it goes live. But we're gonna dive in and check it out. So let me go ahead and plug everything in real quick. All right, so now that we've got everything all set up, I've got the pedal here on screen, and the guitar that I'm using today is a Schecter Tempest Custom. I decided to go with this guitar because it and the pickups that are in it are more representative of just a normal everyday guitar. And so you can get a better picture of how this pedal will sound through just everyday pickups. This is nothing special. There's no custom pickups in this one or anything like that. And honestly, the Schecter Tempest is just a badass guitar. So that's why we're using it today. And then we will be using an impulse response loader inside of my DAW. I'll be using the GGD Studio Cabs Contenders Round 1. It's just the first thing that I thought to load up, and it's a great sounding impulse response plugin. No affiliation or anything with them at all. It's just a great plugin, to be honest with you. So this is what the guitar's DI sounds like, also with the impulse response though. All right, so let's go ahead and flip the cap open on this pedal and turn it on. So it cut my sound obviously because I have the volume down. Let's go ahead and bring the volume, what, halfway up? Maybe a little bit more. Honestly, it's sounding good already though. That's a pretty good little crunch slash dirt to it, honestly. And again, that's with everything at noon right now. All right, let's go ahead and bring that drive down. Let's get some glass out of this. You know, it's called glass for a reason. Okay, gain is just barely up now. Let's crank the voice for some more mid boost here. Ooh, let's bring it back down. All right, let's bring the volume up now. Let's go ahead and try out my neck pickup. Go ahead and bring the tone up, probably add some brightness to it. Okay, so let's bring the drive a little bit further down. Okay, I can dig it. Let's go ahead and bring the tone all the way down and see what kind of sound we have. Okay, so a little bit obviously muffled. go ahead and bump the mid boost. Bring the tone back up and leave the mid where it's at. Let's go ahead and bump the tone all the way. All right, the mid boost is now all the way up. So it's giving it a good bit of breakup now. That's a good bit of drive considering the drive is all the way basically off. It's as low as it'll go without it cutting the signal completely. All right, drive at noon. I can hear some noise going on, so it's got a good little bit of drive going. Okay, we almost have some pinch harmonics happening there. We're gonna have to test this with an overdrive pedal in front of it in a little bit. Not yet, not yet. All right, let's go to the bridge pickup again. I was in the middle position. Dude, that almost chugs, honestly. Let's bring the mid boost down and see what it sounds like. All right, mid boost is sounding better there. Let's go ahead and crank the drive. It's about 3/4 of the way up now. All right, drive all the way up now. And let's crank the mid boost now. Sounds sick, honestly, sounding sick. Okay. Drive halfway down and we'll leave the mid boost cranked because the mid boost seems to do the most work. All right, we've got a good bit of drive going, so I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna put on a noise gate. All right, just had to get a noise gate on there so we get rid of some of that noise. Okay, let's go ahead and go with an overdrive. I'm using the Opaque Drive. It's one of my favorite overdrives of all time, but we're not here to talk about that today. So let's go ahead. Tone and level are at noon, gain is at 0. Let's go ahead and go with it off. And here it is with it on, everything at noon, except for the gain, which is off. Okay, let's go ahead and give the pedal more gain. We're chugging, y'all. Okay, we're chugging. Let's bring down the mid boost. And then we'll bring up the level on the overdrive. Bring up the tone. Okay, so let's bring the drive on the pedal down a little bit, and we'll bring back up the mid boost. Okay, let's go ahead and crank the tone. We have a lot of noise coming through now. Let's add a little bit of extra gain from the overdrive and see how that sounds. All right, so safe to say it takes an overdrive pedal fairly well. And that's with the overdrive off. It still sounds great on its own. I think what we should do is I think that we should mess with the impulse response a little bit. Let's try a different impulse response and see how this sounds. All right, so this is just the built-in impulse response in Archetype Nolly X from Neural DSP. That's got a lot going on all on its own, dude. There's no other pedals on right now. Overdrive is turned off. That's all just the pedal, and we're cranking the mid boost and the tone knob to get us there. Gain is not quite all the way up. Let's go ahead and do some basic EQ now. So I don't have an EQ pedal, but if I did, this is what I would do with it. I do a little bit of a high pass filter, probably up around 70 Hertz. Low pass filter to bring it down probably around 11,000, cut out a lot of the like upper hair that you don't want to hear. And then let's just go ahead and boost the 4.5, let's boost the 1.5, and let's go ahead and bring down the 800 a little bit and see how that sounds. So this is without it. Let's turn it off. So subtle, but we can do more. Let's go ahead and bring out some more of that 800. And then let's go ahead and maybe bring out some of that 1.5 actually. That might be the honkiness I'm hearing. Okay, sounding pretty damn good in my opinion. I did not expect it to chug like that. And again, all of the pedals are now turned off. The only thing that we did is add some EQ after the pedal itself there. So it's literally just guitar, pedal, EQ, good to go. This sounds sick, honestly. And all of that for a sub $50 pedal, that is a lot. Honestly, it sounds great. It is easy to use. 4 knobs, man, come on, it's easy to dial in. It's a very simple preamp pedal to dial in. You heard my clean tones at the beginning, and then you heard my distorted tones, but I think I'm gonna try out a different guitar on this. I have one with a little bit less hot pickups. They are custom pickups, but they're less hot, and so I wanna see what they sound like. They're more like PAF and styled, and so let me go ahead and unplug and grab that guitar. All right, so this is my GOC Guitars Aluminum Modern, and this is a custom set of Aurora Tone pickups in it that I asked him to model after like some low output PAF style pickups. They don't quite sound PAF, but they also aren't like high output at all. So this is what it sounds like on this dirty tone that we'd made. So as you can hear, they're a lot less bright than the pickups that were in the Schecter. And let's go ahead and coil tap it now. Okay, so let's go ahead and take out some of the dirt now. Let's go back to a clean tone. So we'll go ahead and bring the tone knob down. We'll bring down the mid boost considerably. And actually, let's crank the tone again because we want it to be nice and bright. All right, let's go ahead and coil tap it now on the neck pickup. Okay, so we've got some goodness happening here. Let's go ahead and bring the drive down even further and crank the volume so we can hear it. That's on the neck pickup. Man, I'm just not playing that well today. So I think it's safe to say that with lower output pickups, it sounds quite a bit cleaner. The pickups must have been hotter in that Tempest than I thought they were because it sounds way cleaner now with lower output pickups. For reference, I think these are a 9K in the bridge and like a 7K in the neck pickup. All right, now we're gonna coil tap everything. Let's give it some more drive. So you can hear it's clean, but it's trying to break up. And if I strum, it does. So we do have the breakup there. That is the bridge pickup coil split. Let's do a middle position coil split. And then neck pickup coil split. All right, the neck pickup seems to sound best there. Let's go ahead and add some time effects here. So we're gonna run with a delay and reverb. Let's go ahead and go back to the bridge pickup. All right, and then neck pickup with the delay and reverb as well. And the middle position. All right, so with all the clean stuff out of the way, let's say we make this a distorted tone. Let's go ahead and bring the volume down and bring that gain up. We're back on the bridge pickup, by the way, and we are not coil split anymore. Alright, I'm liking where we're going here. Let's go ahead and crank the mid boost. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the mid boost up even more. Let's go ahead and dime it. Alright, let's bring the tone knob all the way up as well. Definitely has that Fender-drive sound to it. It's good, man, it's good. Let's go ahead and dime the drive and see what we got. It's chugging, y'all. All right, so now that we've heard the dirty tone alone, let's go ahead and add an overdrive in front and see how it takes an overdrive. I'm using my Opaque Drive. I've got some relatively normal settings on it. Gain is all the way off, and the level is at middle, and the tone is at middle as well. And this is what it sounds like without it. I've turned down the gain on the pedal itself because we don't need the gain dimed when we're turning on an overdrive. Let's go ahead and turn on the overdrive now. So you can hear immediately cleaned up that low end a little bit, and I don't even have the tone very far up on it. All right, let's go ahead and bring the tone way up and see if we can liven up the signal a little bit. Okay, let's bring up the mid boost on here too. A little bit too lively there. Let's bring the mid boost down a little bit. All right, now let's bring up the level and see what we can do. You can hear some noise coming through now. And let's coil split this. Obviously a lot of noise now. Let me crank up that noise gate a little bit. It's not a real noise gate, it's a software noise gate, so it's not as good as like a pedal would be. And then back to the humbucker. And let's go ahead and crank the tone knob. All right, so thoughts so far. There is a lot of mid-range honk in this pedal. And I tried removing that, by moving down the mid-range boost on the pedal. But taking down the mid-range boost on the pedal doesn't really let it cut through as much. And that can obviously be changed by an overdrive pedal, or that can be changed by an EQ pedal. So to simulate an EQ pedal, let's go ahead and turn one on inside of Archetype Nolly X. And we're going to boost 8K and 4.5K. We're going to be taking away some 1.5K and 8K. And it does have a high and low pass filter on it now. And I have turned off my overdrive pedal. That's with the EQ on. Here's with it off. Let's go ahead and add that 8K back in and see what that does. Okay, that does help a little bit. Let's go ahead and add some air in the 12K as well. There's just something I want to take away in this tone that I'm not figuring out, so. There it was 400 Hertz, so. Okay, we maybe don't need to take 7 dB away. We'll do like 4 dB and see what that sounds like. No, actually I want more of it taken away. All right, so for those of you that buy this pedal, and there is an affiliate link down in the link below as usual, but for those of you that buy this pedal, 400 Hertz, that's the magic number to get rid of that boxy sound that it's got to it. So if you're a normal person, unlike myself, that actually owns an EQ pedal, just grab that 400 Hertz notch and bring it down, and that should do the trick there. Now, let's go ahead and turn on the overdrive pedal again and see what we've got. That should take care of things quite a bit more, and we'll see what it sounds like. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the high pass filter on here because I don't wanna suck out any more low end here. There we go, we got some girth back to it. Because I'm sure with that cut at 400 Hertz, we're probably pulling out a little bit more of the lows along with those low mids. And you know, for the hell of it, let's turn up the gain on the overdrive pedal just a little bit, just to like, I don't even know what time that'd be, 10 o'clock on it? There we go. And let's coil split it now. All right, I think that's a really sick split coil tone on there, and I wasn't expecting it. Obviously a lot of noise there. You would want a real noise gate pedal, not just a software noise gate like I have going inside my DAW right now, but I could not be bothered to plug in yet another pedal. I've got too many wires going everywhere right now. But yeah, that is the Joyo Audio Clean Glass preamp pedal, and you heard it, it was clean as glass. It also has some dirt when you dig in, or if you just crank the knobs a little bit. And then it has a ton of grit and distortion on its own with that gain knob, but if you add an overdrive in front of it, it sounds even better because it helps to tighten up that signal and add a little bit of that sparkly high end that you might want. So what are my final thoughts on this pedal? It's under 50 bucks. It's a great preamp pedal for you to put stuff before and after it. This takes time effects really well. It takes an overdrive really well. So you really can't go wrong with having it on your pedal board for less than 50 bucks, right? It's an incredible little pedal. It's built very, very well. It's got a solid foot switch on it. It even has a little cover to cover those tiny little knobs so they don't get stepped on when it's on your board. So in my opinion, what do you have to lose by buying a pedal like this to get you that glass clean sound that you want, but also have a really good Fender-style drive tone to it, all for under 50 bucks? It's pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. And yes, they did send me this pedal, but they did not pay me to say any of this. In fact, they sent me this pedal so long ago, I feel bad for not making the video sooner because it's a sick little pedal. But what do you think? Is this a usable pedal on your pedal board? How would you use it? How would you have done all of this differently? Let me know down in the comments below, and maybe I'll try it out and make another video. Who knows? But I appreciate you all watching this. If you made it this far, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button. And I've been throwing this into the end of most of my videos, but if you are somebody that is wanting to create content like the content you're watching right now, I do give content coaching lessons, so please feel free to use the link to my website down below. Fill out the contact form and we can chat about you taking one-on-one lessons with me to learn how to make all of this content, to learn how to get your audio sounding crisp and clear for product demos. Or if you just want to learn how to film yourself and talk to a camera and not sound like a moron like I do, I can help. But like I said, until next time, peace and love, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye now.